Hello everyone, welcome to today's live stream. So you can see that gold has been consolidating throughout the day, which makes sense because this is a fourth wave triangle pattern. So today I want to give you what I'm looking for in gold. Overall, what is my bias? What can be the next possible move in gold? So we'll discuss that and then we'll go and talk about some intraday structure as well, but I want to start with the higher time frame. Okay, so this is the weekly, and from the weekly POI we had a very nice movement, right? A very nice reaction. Market has given a strong displacement, so the buyers are once again holding this zone, which is a good sign that gold can actually give us another high from this zone itself. Now this is important because as long as this zone does not break, the buyers are still going to control the market. The sentiment is still going to be bullish. That's very important. Apart from this zone just being a weekly POI, this is also a daily level as well. We have got a massive daily trend line which is coming just at this level. Apart from that, you can see we had this last low which market took, and from here market displaced. So daily also this is a very important zone to hold for the market sentiment to remain bullish. Once market breaks below this trend line, then you can say that the sentiment will completely turn bearish for both gold and silver. But till then, as long as the bulls sustain above this trend line, you can say the focus will be on higher prices. Okay, so that's very important to understand. Okay, now let's talk about the 4-hour. In the 4-hour, we have got market structure shift. Market dropped severely, and we can see that we do not have any level to find our change of character in 4-hour, so we cannot really do much in the 4-hour time frame. But if we go to the 1-hour, then in the 1-hour we already have got our market structure shift, which was over here. And after that, gold, you can see, created some new displacement. After that, market gave a drop, and we were expecting gold to push higher because we had this channel which market respected, right? So if you're in my channel, you should know all of that. And market broke this level, once again broke above this channel and gave us a market structure shift once again. So overall, everything is indicating that gold is still bullish. The daily, weekly, and the 1-hour is also still very much bullish. But I have told you that gold and silver both are inside a larger correction. That means that it's possible that we have got a major top in gold. It's very much possible. There is no need for another high. Yes, as long as the market holds this trend line, sentiment will be bullish. We will be looking for buying only as long as the 1-hour also remains bullish. But you have to understand, if we look at the overall structure, then obviously market needs to create a high at some point, and it's very much possible that we have already got the high because the structure is complete. This was a very elongated fifth wave, an extended fifth wave, which should now be completed. It's too much. Market cannot keep continuing in one direction forever. So it's possible that we have got a major top at $5,600, and it's possible that we are going to start a bear market, and it's possible that the bear market has already started. So what I want to tell you is that you have to be cautious right now. This is not a point where we are right now that you can go blindly all in buying gold or buying silver, right? Because the rally has already been completed, and now a correction should unfold. Now what is going to trigger that massive drop, that massive correction, that massive bearish market, we have to see. But as long as this high is not taken, and also in the daily we have got this massive order block candle, right? So as long as market does not give a strong closing above $5,096, or you can say as long as the bulls do not reclaim the zone above $5,100, you can say that gold can once again drop from this zone. It's very much possible. Okay, and also if you look at this structure, even though it's bullish, even though 1 hour is pushing higher, even though in the intraday we're looking for higher prices, you have to understand that I have marked this as an A B C structure. That means that this is a corrective move. This is not a new impulsive structure. This is a corrective structure which clearly consists of three waves. Wave A, we are having three waves. Wave B, we are having three waves. This is not a 5-wave move, by the way. And right now it's possible that we are in this wave C, and this wave C can top any time soon. And in the wave C, this is the wave count. This is the wave 1 high consisting of 5 waves. This was the wave 2 pullback, which was quite narrow. After that, right now we are in the wave 3, which is possibly completed, and this is a wave 4 triangle pattern consolidation. That's why I told you that market can actually consolidate for a couple of hours before pushing higher once again. Everything was updated in my channel over here. If you see, then you can find it over here. This is a typical fourth wave behavior in the form of triangle. You can see that the wave count suggests that it's a possible fourth wave, in which case it can turn into something complex rather than giving a simple zigzag correction. So very clearly everything has been mentioned to you, and yes, in the intraday we're still looking for higher prices. And yes, you can take a scalp entry in gold on breakout of this upper trend line, but that does not mean that in the higher time frame gold is going to push higher for a new all-time high, because the overall structure, like I told you, it's a clear 3-wave structure, right? That means that this is a corrective pattern, and if it's a corrective pattern, this can develop in multiple ways. This can be something like this as well, where you see this kind of a channel being formed, something like this, where we'll see that the market is not able to create strong highs like it did before over here. So it will create highs, but it will be something like this. Market will push higher, then drop, something like this, and then finally it is going to drop. So it can do something like this, where this will be a consolidation and then a drop. This is also called a bear flag, by the way, something like this. Okay, and like I told you, this is our daily zone, which is a massive supply zone. So $5,100 will be the most important level to watch. Once market taps this zone, you have to become very cautious if you're buying in the intraday. Once market taps this zone and you see market has given a 1-hour structure shift, be ready to sell gold. Okay, be ready to sell gold. You will be selling gold and you will be holding this trade all the way to the last low. Okay, and obviously market is going to drop further to the downside, and in that case market is going to break this trend line as well. So you can expect that a massive bearish market is going to unfold then. Okay, so this zone will be the most important zone to watch. This is where all the sellers are. This is where the most, you can say, the bears are waiting for market to flip. Once market takes out $5,100, the bulls will come into the market, they will get trapped, and then the bears will start their movement to the downside. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for in gold, that yes, in the intraday market is bullish, market will push higher, no doubt about that. You can see that the upper trend line is getting broken. So if you want to take a scalp entry, that's completely fine, but once market taps 5100, you have to be cautious, very cautious. Okay, because this is once again a 3-wave corrective structure, and since market has already broken multiple time frame POIs, you can see multiple lows have been broken, starting from 1 hour to 4 hour. Also it tried to close below daily, but it failed. Still you can see that this structure in itself is a corrective structure. So do not expect that gold is directly going to go up for this last high or a new all-time high, because the pressure is definitely towards the downside. Okay guys, so I want to make it very clear that in the short term only I am looking for buying as long as the 1 hour remains bullish, but once market taps $5,100, which is the daily supply zone, and you see market structure shift, go for sell. Okay, go for sell. The similar thing will happen in silver as well, and silver is actually much weaker than gold. Yes, silver has given us a market structure shift in 1 hour and it is trying to recover, but you can see that it is much weaker than gold. You can see this candle in itself, it's a massive candle, and there is a huge amount of imbalance towards the selling side. So silver can try to push a little bit higher. Here also we have got this as a supply zone, and it's possible that from this zone itself silver starts to drop. Okay, something like this. So once again, market taps the zone and you see 1 hour market structure shift, you will be looking for selling in silver as well. Okay, so let market tap into the zone, and from here once you see 1 hour market structure shift, you will be looking to sell silver. Okay, and silver, let me tell you, just in the history, if you have seen that silver has crashed in a huge manner. If you see, then market created $50 high in 1980, around $50, and from here silver has crashed 90% crash in silver. Once again, market tapped this last high around 2011, and from here this time market crashed around 77%. So similar kind of crash can be expected in silver once again. Okay, silver has already crashed around 40%, actually around 50%, so you can expect more downside in silver once the bearish market start. You can expect 70 to 80% crash in silver this time as well. Okay, so overall silver is much more weaker than gold, and their structure are indicating that they're under pressure, and we can see more downside in the upcoming days. Okay, so that's the update in gold and silver. You can see gold is pushing higher. I told you if you want to take an entry, you could have taken. Market has broken finally above the consolidation, and now it is going to go for another high, which will be our fifth wave, which will possibly take us to $5,100. Okay, so once market taps 5,100, be very cautious. Do not look for selling anymore. I can see that the 100% extension of the wave one is around 5,073. Above this we have got 123% extension. Let me change the color. Okay, so this is around 5,132, right? And above this 5,227. So these three levels will be important, but I think 123% will be the most important. Once market taps the zone, you have to look for structure shift in 1 hour. Once that happens, be ready for gold to drop. Okay, like I said, you will also see this kind of structure where market will create this kind of channels, so you can also watch that. And once market breaks below this trend line, this will be a major you can say change in the sentiment from bullish to bearish. Obviously the initial signs will be seen over here when market will change its structure in the 1 hour time frame itself. You should be ready to sell gold from here. But once market breaks below this trend line, then you will see that all hell will break loose and you will see a massive decline very quickly, just like it happened over here. And once market breaks below this trend line, which is the daily trend line, you have to understand that the bear market has now actually begun and a massive correction is going to unfold in gold. Okay, so that's what we're looking for, guys. In the intraday, market is bullish, surely, no doubt. If you want to take some scalp, you can look for buying opportunities. Market is bullish, but once market taps $5,100, be cautious and watch for rejection from this zone. Once you see market structure shift in the 1 hour from this zone, you will be looking for selling only. And once market breaks below this trend line, you can add more positions. And once market obviously breaks below this lower trend line, you will be adding more positions as well, because in that case the massive bearish market will going to start. Okay, so those of you who want to understand how a fourth wave triangle is created, it's very simple. There are 5 waves inside this: A, B, C, D, E, and all are 3 wave structures. Okay, So here you can see we had the first wave, wave A, clearly consisting of three waves. We can see we have got 1, 2, 3. Then we have got wave B, again clearly consisting of three waves. Then we have wave C, three waves. Then we have got wave D, again clearly consisting of three waves. And this is the wave E. Obviously you cannot see clear three waves over here. Wave E is mostly short, because once wave E is completed, the next impulsive wave, which is the wave 5, needs to start. So wave E, you cannot really exactly, obviously there will be three waves according to the Elliott wave structure, according to the Elliott wave theory, but you cannot really pinpoint all the three waves very clearly. If you go to 1 minute, then maybe you can see this. You can see something like this, but it's not going to be very clear most of the time. Anyhow, so now the wave 5 has most probably started, and you can see I've marked this new breakout structure in the 5 minutes, and market is pushing higher, which was expected after this consolidation. I was expecting gold to push higher, and that's what exactly we're seeing finally. So now what you can do is, I've already told you, if you want to take a buy entry, you can. And if you have already taken, that's good. If you haven't, then you can wait for market to retrace back and test this last breakout level. Maybe we see this, maybe we don't, because the new impulsive fifth wave has possibly started. In that case, you will see a faster move in gold rather than a pullback like this that you have seen before. You won't see something like this. This will be a much quicker and a faster move. Okay, so if you have already bought, good for you. If you haven't, then you can wait for market to give any kind of pullback. In 5 minutes also, I don't see anything. Market actually tapped this fair value gap before pushing higher. So right now, I don't see any zone from where you can take any entry. So if you want to take a new entry, then I think you should wait right now and wait for a new breakout structure above this last high. That will give you a much better entry with higher probability. Okay, but if you have already bought from this zone after breakout, good for you. You can hold this trade. This level is going to be your first target at $5,048. Your next target will be at $5,063 according to the liquidity. And if you want to hold this trade all the way till $5,100, that's also completely fine. Okay, so you can see market has finally broken above this level after this consolidation, which was expected. This is exactly what I explained in my channel over here, that this is a typical fourth wave behavior where market is going to consolidate, right? So this is exactly what we're seeing in the market right now. Okay, so this is for gold. Market has finally broken above the consolidation, and now you can expect higher prices in gold. Let's talk about silver, what's going on. So silver is also showing the same kind of movement in gold, but yes, in silver there was no triangle pattern. This was rather a zigzag correction consisting of three waves once again, because this is a corrective structure, and this is also a fourth wave just like in gold. So here also you can mark it as 1, 2, 3, 4, and one more high, which should be our wave 5, and that is going to tap into our daily POI, from which, as I've told you, we are going to look for selling opportunity. Okay, so in silver, this will be our zone to watch for the next move to the downside. We'll be looking for sell entry from this zone. Okay, but in gold, we'll be focusing on this zone. Okay, so I think the time that it will take for market to hit both these POIs should be the same, because now both should push higher and both should tap into these POIs from which we'll be looking for sell opportunity. And after that, like I have told you very clearly, market is going to become bearish, and for that I've also given you some trend lines to watch for in gold. This will be the trend line to watch, the first trend line to watch. Once market breaks below this, you can expect that the next strong push to the downside has started. But this will be the most important level, which is still holding this upside momentum in gold. So this will be the trend line to watch for. It has already been tested multiple times, as you can see, and every time market has you can see take support from this level, and market has pushed higher. So once market breaks below this trend line, then you can say that a complete bearish market is going to start in gold. Obviously it's not going to be very quick, it will take time, but I think if I compare it with the last corrections, the major corrections after a major all-time high, I think that this correction should be much quicker, because this correction has already started off much faster than it has done previously, right? And also right now the fundamentals are definitely, you can say, in favor of gold, because the war situations in many countries, especially between US and the neighboring countries and also the Middle East, is going on, and anytime if anything happens, then fundamentally that should trigger gold to the upside, right? And also inflation. So inflation is down right now, but in the upcoming days, in the upcoming months, if the inflation rises, then we will be seeing rate cuts. And if that happens, if the inflation goes down, then we'll be seeing rate cuts. And if that happens, then that is also drive dollar weaker, and gold should be pushing to the upside. So overall, we cannot really time the fundamentals, but technically we should see a bear market in gold right now, looking at the structure, and that's what we are waiting for. This, according to me, is just a push to the upside. It is just a correction of the drop that has happened initially. So this is nothing but a correction of this drop that has happened last week, and that's what we're waiting for. Once this correction is over, we'll be looking for sell opportunity. That's it. Okay, so in the short term, gold is definitely bullish, gold is definitely pushing higher. And okay, so now if it gives some kind of opportunity, you can take a buy entry, but once again this is just going to be a scalp entry, because you cannot really go for a swing entry over here. Like I told you, this is a corrective structure which you are in, and it is bullish, but like I told you, this is just going to be a scalp entry. If you are going for a swing entry, then wait for market to tap this zone, and from here you'll be looking for a sell opportunity. But for now, yes, gold is bullish. If you want to take a scalp buy, that's completely fine. Okay, so that's the update in gold. That's what I'm watching for. In the short term, gold is bullish, but in the longer term, we might have a major top in place, and in that case, we will be looking for sell opportunity in gold once gold taps into the daily order block. Okay, so that's the update in gold and silver. Hope it was clear. If it was, make sure to like the stream, and also if you want more updates, you can join my Telegram channel. You can find the link below in the description. In silver also, one more high is expected, and once market taps this zone and you see market breaking the 1 hour structure to the downside, you will be looking for sell opportunity. Okay, so gold and silver, this is the plan. We're bullish in the shorter term, but in the longer term, we'll be looking for selling opportunity. Okay, let's talk about the currency pairs a bit. As I can see over here that in GBP, market has taken out the last liquidity and market came down, tapped into our weekly fair value gap. So let's see if we have any kind of confirmation that market wants to push higher from here, or we'll be looking for sell opportunity. So in the 1 hour, as I can see, market actually gave us this structure shift and market is pushing higher, which is a good sign that market wants to push to the upside. In that case, what I can say is that let's go to the 1 hour. In the 1 hour, market is still bullish, so you can watch this zone, which will be the order block. So from here, you can look for a buying opportunity to target this last high. So use confirmation to take an entry from this zone. If you get any confirmation in the 5 minutes, you can take an entry and target the high. But if market fails to push higher from here and breaks below this low, takes out this low and closes below this, then you can look for sell opportunity in GBP USD. Okay, why sell opportunity? Because in weekly, this was just a liquidity sweep. The candle did not actually close above this high, right? And also in the daily, market is testing this order block, right? So this is a supply zone, and from here, if market breaks the 1 hour structure, then it is likely going to the downside and we'll be looking for short opportunity. Okay, so in Euro USD, let's see, I think similar kind of price action should unfold. So in euro we have got the weekly taken as well, and market closed back. After that, market came down, tapped into the weekly fair value gap, and from here market is pushing higher. So in 4 hour, I can see that euro is actually much more stronger than GBP. Market has given a structure shift, which is a good sign that market wants to push higher, and in that case we'll be looking to buy euro USD once we get a pullback from a POI. Now this is going to be our point of interest from which we'll be looking for a buying opportunity, and we'll be targeting the 1 hour high. Okay, but if market continues higher and gives new break of structure, in that case we'll be looking to target this liquidities next. Okay, so one by one you'll be targeting the liquidities as market breaks above this highs and also closes 1 hour candle above this highs. Okay, but if market fails to break, push higher from this high and once again starts to drop and breaks the 1 hour structure below this low, in that case you'll be looking for sell opportunity, just like in GBP USD. Now GBP and euro, most of the time they push in the same way, they move in the same direction, but you have to look at them individually and read their price action individually. Okay, so keep that in mind. But for now the euro is looking much more bullish than GBP, so if market comes down, taps the zone and gives confirmation, you can look for buying opportunity. Okay, GBP also same, it is still bullish. We have this 1 hour break of structure to the upside, so it's looking good. So once market taps this order block from here, if you get confirmation, you can look for a buy entry as well in GBP. Okay, so GBP and euro right now in the 1 hour, both of them are bullish, and you can look for buying prices in both of them, buying opportunities in both of them. Let's look at gold. So gold is pushing higher as expected, and if you bought, good for you. Like I told you, you can target this high, this will be your first target, and after that as market continues higher, you can either book your final target at 5063, or you can hold it a little bit longer and target $5,100, from which, like I've already told you, we'll be looking for short opportunity. Okay, so that's your update in gold and silver. If you have any queries, then you can let me know. Also, to like the stream if it was helpful, and also for more updates you can join my Telegram channel as well. The link is below in the description. Okay, so if you don't have any queries, then I'd like to wind the stream up here, and more updates will obviously be shared in my channel. You can see that gold is pushing higher as expected after consolidating for, you can say, throughout the London and also the starting of New York session. So finally it is pushing higher as expected, and now we should see one more high in gold. So if you have bought, make sure that you just book scalp profits. Like I've told you, the levels, book at those levels your profits, and once market taps this zone, be very cautious. Do not look for buying entry anymore. Once market taps this daily order block zone, then you'll be looking for sell opportunity only. Okay, so that's the update in gold. I'm expecting market to turn from this zone. We'll be looking for short opportunity from this zone. Similarly in silver, market is bullish in the shorter term, but once again we have got this daily order block from which we'll be looking for sell opportunity. And as you know, gold and silver, both of them move in the same direction. So once gold starts to drop, silver will also follow the same, and it will start to drop once again. And just to remind you, silver is much more weaker right now compared to gold, so the fall in silver will also be much more than gold. Okay, so silver can actually give you better ROI if you are looking to trade any one of them. I would recommend you to trade silver, because you can get a very nice drop in silver, because like I told you in the last times, you can see that market has crashed in a massive way. 90% crash over here in 1980s, and in 2011 there was around 76% crash. So similar kind of crash can be seen this time too, and in that case you can actually catch a massive swing trade in silver to the downside. Okay, so if you want better ROI, I would recommend you to trade silver. Look for a short opportunity in silver once silver breaks the 1 hour structure to the downside. Okay, Yes, gold will also give you good drop as well, no doubt about that, but just talking about the ROI, I think silver will give you a better ROI. Okay, so that's the update in gold and silver. In shorter term, both are bullish, and once market taps the zones that I've shared, look for sell opportunity with confirmation. Obviously the updates will be shared in my channel. Okay, so that's the update for now. As more price action develops, I will keep updating more important levels and structures in my Telegram channel, so make sure you are over there. You can find the link below in the description. Okay, so I will see you tomorrow. Till then, take care and trade safe.